Alright, we shall continue our lesson on summary. You're welcome. Now, in our previous lesson, we defined summary. We looked at the nature of the WAEC and NECO Summary questions, and we also talked about the skills required to carry out a summary. Martin applies to my name, and the platform bringing this to you is ISIFE EDUBLOG. We have made up about 12 tips, subject to expansion anyway, that will easily teach you the skills required in summary writing. Number one, we said carefully read through the passage. If you had studied our work on comprehension, I had advised that you arrive the examination hall early enough. The essence is to give you the time to read carefully and not to read in a rush. So carefully read the given passage. When you're done reading, go through the questions. As I said earlier in the first summary lesson, the question may be broken into 2 or 3. Sometimes they will tell you in 5 sentences, 1 for each. That will just be a single question. But if you have in 3 sentences, 1 for each, expect another one. The second one may say in 2 sentences, 1 for each. The last one may say in 1 sentence. Read these 3 questions, 2 or 1 question as they may be. After reading the question, you go back to the passage. This time, you are looking out for the topic sentence and other supporting sentences on which your answers are based. Now, the problem now is, what is a topic sentence? The topic sentence is the sentence in a paragraph that carries the message of that paragraph. If a writing is divided into 4 paragraphs, each of the 4 paragraphs has a topic sentence. And in identifying the topic sentence, you have a kind of arrested the meaning of the passage. So, watch out for the topic sentence in each of the paragraphs, because they are the storehouse of the meaning of each of the paragraphs. How do I know the topic sentence? If I say, life is beautiful, one should not be hard on themselves. One should not be hard on oneself. Let's put it that way. One should not be hard on oneself. Take time to rest. Take your bath at least twice a day. brush your teeth and clean your mouth and all that. These sentences, one should not be hard on oneself. Take time to rest. Take your bath at least twice a day. Are here because life is beautiful. Alright? So the topic sentence here is the first sentence. It is not to say that in all paragraphs the topic sentence will be the first sentence, but it is the case in most paragraphs, right? The topic sentence in many paragraphs is usually the first sentence. Then other sentences will be coming to add meaning, to amplify, to decorate that topic sentence. But some creative writers could also put the topic sentence in the middle or even bring it at the end of the paragraph. So whatever works, note that that sentence on which other sentences are clustered is the topic sentence. And like I've said, it is vital to your writing summary. Now, write or draft your answer. Write your first draft. Don't assume that you know so much that you could just write straight without making mistakes. No. The best of writers are the ones who thoroughly proofread their work and even give to others to read or proofread for them. You don't have the opportunity of giving to another person to proofread for you in an examination situation. So you will do your proofreading by yourself. Sit back when you have finished. This is the era of telephone. Of course, you're getting these things via your telephone, your mobile phones and all of that. If you have a mobile phone and you have written a text message, don't just press the send button. Sit back. Reread that your short message. It might be surprising, the errors you find. So don't rush to submit your work or summary without proofreading it. And to proofread, you have to have a draft. So, draft your answer or answers. Then look at the drafted answers to see what mistakes you made and what could be corrected. Number 5 says, your answers may come in individual sentences or individual sentence form or through the use of preamble. What do I mean here? You may decide to say, let's assume that the passage is on the importance of agriculture. And there have been 6, 7, 8 points. Alright? If the writer says, in 6 sentences, 1 for each, summarize the importance of agriculture. Because it is a straight kind of question, you might just say the importance of agriculture. This is the use of preamble. 1. You list shelter. 2. Okay. We may say, it depends on how you like the provision of shelter, provision of food, provision of raw material for industries. Alright? Each of these is now added to this to make a sentence. That's the essence. So you see that if I do this 6 times, I would have gotten my 6 sentences and would have grabbed 30 marks. Alright? This is the use of a preamble. The use of individual sentence is also good. That is to say, agriculture, this time we do not need to say the importance of agriculture. No. Agriculture provides us with food. 2. It provides us with shelter. 3. It provides raw materials for industries. Now, this is the individual sentence form. Each sentence is on its own. Whatever or whichever of one of these two you choose to do, there is the 6th note or tip. It says keep the sentences short. Whether you have chosen the individual sentence form or the use of preamble, keep it short. You know why it is important to be kept short? The longer your sentence is, the more prone to error you are. If a sentence requires 3 words, and I put down my 3 words, what's the problem? Now, let me show you how Nigerians make mistakes, or how we make mistakes in our use of English. Much of the errors we have in this part of the world are unnecessary. Why should somebody say, I cannot be able to come? I cannot be able to come. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words for a sentence of 3 words. I cannot come. I cannot come is a beautiful sentence. Correct King's English. Yes. But instead of using this correct King's English, somebody comes to say, I cannot be able to come. Now, adding 3 words to make the sentence wrong. What I'm saying is this. Keep your sentences as short as possible to avoid errors. Number 7. Do not engage in blind lifting of words from the passage. This is important. If you lift hook, line and sinker in summary, you score not. Alright? Lifting a sentence from the passage amounts to scoring not. If the passage had read, agriculture is the only human endeavor charged with the provision of food. In my summary, I said, agriculture provides food, or provides us with food. Now, agriculture is a key word. Provision, as used here, I have used in my own summary as a verb. And then, food remains food. This sentence gives me 5 marks. But if I go to my answer booklet and write, agriculture is the only human endeavor charged with the provision of food, I will score not. That's the difference. Alright, so keywords can be retained. Agriculture is agriculture. Any other thing you do to interpret it will give you a lengthy number of words. The science of growing crops and rearing animals, that's agriculture. So it's a keyword. Food is food. And we have made provision, provide. So, please do not engage in blind lifting of words from the passage. Number 8. Do not introduce an idea that is not in the passage, even if you think such an idea is related to the passage. Even if you think such an idea is related to the passage. Yes, you might, the question might go your way. The passage might be on a topic you know so well. Young people watch football today. Even if they are not playing, they are watching. And just assuming that the passage given to you is on football, and you feel you know so much about football, please don't go bringing those things you know about football that was not added to the passage. Retain. May your curiosity not lead you into trouble. The fact that you want to tell us you know should not lead you into trouble. So keep it at where it is. Those things that were discussed in the passage, lay there form your answers. Nothing outside the passage. Number 9 says, collapse the list of related items. Collapse the list of related items. What do I mean here? If you are told that agriculture provides the world with rice, beans, millet, maize, and byproducts such as beer, wine, etc. Rice, beans, millet, maize, beer, wine are all food. Whether I call these ones beverages are also food. So what do I mean? When you have a list like this, the items in the list could be summarized because they are saying the same thing. Just to point out the different kinds of that same thing, you summarize. Agriculture provides us with food. That's the list you have here. But there are times when the list is not related. Let's look at such. Retain the list in an interpreted manner if the items are not related. So if we are told agriculture provides food, shelter, and raw materials. You cannot collapse this list. Now, this kind of thing is very important to JAMB candidates. You might get to the options in JAMB because the people usually think that JAMB does not give summary and it's all comprehension. But the comprehension you find in JAMB is at this interpretation level. In those days when you had 3-4 comprehension passages, one is particularly a summary. But today, because they give you a text, a novel to read ahead of JAMB, you have one passage that would be at the summary level. Now, agriculture provides food, shelter, and raw materials. Might go as agriculture provides where or what we eat, where we live.
Before that, what we eat, there, yes. Agriculture provides where what?
Okay. Agriculture provides what we eat, where we live, and what we use to produce other goods. Now, this is the amplified form of this. If a list of this nature is given to you, we said you answer it. You retain the list in an interpreted manner. Where or what we eat is food. Where we live or where we live in is shelter. And what to use to produce other goods is raw materials. So you see that we have summarized this using this. But we did not collapse the list. The items are still there. If you're told baskets are used to convey goods or crops to the farm, baskets are used for fishing, baskets are also used to dry farm produce, baskets are used to carry crops to the farm and bring crops back, baskets are used for fishing, and then baskets are used to dry or preserve farm produce. What have you been told? Baskets are used for farming. Baskets are used for farming. Baskets are used to carry crops to and fro the farm. Baskets are used for fishing. Baskets are used for drying or preserving farm produce. Simply, baskets are used for farming. That's what we mean by collapsing the list. But in retaining the list, we mean the items are not related, therefore you cannot collapse. But you interpret the list. That was what we did in saying that agriculture provides food, shelter, and raw materials. Okay. Number 11. Do not interpret nouns as verbs. Do not interpret nouns as verbs. What do we mean by that? If you're told there were police officers at the bank when it was robbed, now it would be wrong for you to say the bank was being guarded when it was robbed. No. This sentence does not say the bank was being guarded. It said there were police officers. You can't tell whether these police officers were actually assigned to the bank or not. They are two different things. The mere fact that there were police officers does not mean that the bank was being guarded. So do not interpret verbs as nouns. The sentence says, there were police officers. There were police officers. Presence. Not police officers were guarding the bank. No. So, if you do, it's just like saying, let me be more, use one word that will bring out this information better. The man is a hunter. The man is hunting. Good. If the passage says the man is a hunter, it will be wrong for you to go to the answer section and say the man is hunting. Hunting is a present thing, is a verb, a continuous, a progressive action. So, the passage may have identified the man as a hunter, but at the time of the writing, there was no hunting taking place. So, don't interpret being a hunter as hunting. Last but not least. Again, you heard me say last but not least. Most of us will say the last but not the least. That's wrong idiom. And you know, idioms lose what they are if you drop words that are part of them. The last but not the least is insulting The idiom is last but not least. Okay. Now, last but not least, we say punctuate properly. Mechanical accuracy. Now, that was the and this person wanted to say so you see, that was the goat and that was the goal. These are two English sentences. But the person that wrote that was the goal wanted to say that was the goat. You see that your meaning has been displaced entirely. You see, today I see I'm not coming. I'm not coming. And somebody thinks they're speaking in English. No. If you say I'm not coming, it might be understood. But when you write something like this, no. I am not coming. This is the short form, not am. In am, there is no subject. Who is the person coming? I am in full, not coming. This is what we mean by mechanical accuracy. Don't write your social media language in your summary. Don't mean you and you write the letter U. Don't mean and you write the letter N. Please, your social media language should remain on your Facebook and WhatsApp accounts. Don't mean thank you and you write please, please, please. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't mean straight and you write don't do that. All right. So to bring our lesson together, you have seen the tips in summary writing. Please, from now on, pick up your past questions, read and answer the summary questions, use either the preamble method or the individual sentence method, whichever one that you feel comfortable with. Try to follow the processes taught in this lesson and see how short, how accurate, how simple your sentences can be. Keep following us, keep sharing our videos, keep subscribing, and we will always be there to bring you the best. Thank you.